Top of the Monday morning to you all, and welcome to another episode of AnderSMIll Knits podcast. I'm your host, Emily, and welcome to my new apartment. In fact, welcome to the back door of my new apartment. It has been a crazy couple of weeks, and I know my podcast will now be late in getting up episode number 4. But I hope you all will understand under the circumstances and that you will all like us on Ravelry and join down here below on YouTube channel. It's a frigid morning and I would like to say that I am very exhausted from the move and everything that's happening. However, I'm also very excited. I think this is going to be a place where Chris and I will be able to make our new home and start a new life together, and this will be really wonderful for both of us. And I'm sorry, I'm going to try and adjust. There. That seems a little more even to me. And then here's my hand. Hello. This week I'm going to go ahead and explain something really fast to you all. This episode is going to be very random in appearance, as I have recorded in multiple locations, in multiple cars, in fact, and also in multiple outfits and in multiple conditions. And so I apologize for that, but really honestly, I had to podcast on the fly throughout the week, just as time would allow. And in fact, later on in the episode, you'll see that I will have edited to insert another video from today about one of my projects, because there's been a lot of progress on it since I last recorded that section. So, but the first thing I would actually like to do is thank all of you for joining me here. I really appreciate it. You can't see, I'm sitting here going like this. Thank you! I love doing this. I didn't ever think that I could do this, and being a podcaster, it just seemed too overwhelming to be able to do, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of time commitment, and I honestly wasn't prepared for that. However, I'm committed. This is going to be awesome. So just FYI, I want you all to know that I really appreciate you. And it was really hilarious. Yesterday, I was telling Chris as we were running and doing a few errands, I was like, can't you do these on your own? I really need to finish my podcast episode for this week. And he looked at me, he's like, do you really? Are people really going to miss you? And I told him, I have 35 subscribers on YouTube. Yes, they are going to miss me. I have an obligation. And he just laughed, and he's just like, okay, Emily. And I said, no, but actually really what it is this is my self-care right now. Knitting is becoming a little stressful at the moment because of my timelines and deadlines. But my podcasting, this is now my self-care. So I need this. And so I'm taking a few minutes before I go out and see a couple clients this morning to greet you all and finish that. So I would like to announce that our knit along of the Double Dip Cal is still going on for the month of October. Pardon me, sorry, look at my eye. For the month of October, we have these beautiful skeins. Here we go, I got it. That I'm giving away, these single ply skeins. They're beautiful, of Araucania yarn. I believe this is considered lace weight, although I would consider it a light fingering, honestly. And I believe there's over, I think we decided after we added it all up, because each skein contains 231.05 yards. So I believe you have well over, about a little over 700 or 800 yards here. So for some of you skinny A people, blankety blank people, you might even be able to get a light garment, like maybe even a featherweight by Hannah Fettig out of it. I'm just saying. And in addition to that, we have this beautiful needle minder case, lovingly provided to us by Stephanie of the Rusted Stitch. And this has come in very handy for me. The one that she gifted me, which I absolutely adore. The one that she gifted me has come in very, very handy for my wedding sweater. So, and right now in the Double Dip Cal, I haven't checked in a few days, but I believe there's only a few people who have posted in there. So your chances of winning are like super good. So just so you know, I'm not going to finish it today, even though today, oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you, today's Halloween. Hello, Halloween. Happy Halloween. Happy last day of October. Now, I'm not going to close the thread today. I'm actually going to wait and close the thread for my next podcast, which will actually be when I'm in Alaska getting married. So who knows how that's going to go, people. Okay. And I'm going to draw for a winner then. Okay. And then, but I am going to open today the thread for the November Double Dip Cal. And how you enter to win, just another recap of that, is that whatever Cal you're also participating in, wherever it may be, it doesn't have to be a part of Ravelry. It can be a sew-along. It can be somewhere on Craftsy. There's all these different affiliates and all this kind of stuff. I would consider doing a class on Craftsy and Knit Along. I really would. So what I would like for you to do, though, is let us all know about it. It has to be a current knit along that you're working on. So obviously it has to be for the month, in the month that I post for. So in the month of November, if you're participating in another knit along for another group / person / entity, post in our thread and give us a link to that knit along. Also give us the dates of when that knit along is happening, and give us a picture of an active work in progress. Cannot be a cast on or the first cut thing of a sewed piece. Does that make sense? I'm not a sewer. I try. I don't know what those things are called. Your first pattern snipping thing. I don't know. But it has to be an active work in progress. So like Stephanie of the Rusted Stitch, she is doing a really good job. She has been able to like triple, quadruple, double, duple, fourple dip into multiple cals just on one project alone. If you go into our October thread, you can see. And so the purpose of that is not only to double your chances or more of winning a prize, but also to let all of us know where all the other cals are going on and give all of us a chance to also participate in those if at all possible. Because as I've mentioned before, I get a little overwhelmed with things. Like for instance, oh my gosh, is it Diane of Diabolical? I've forgotten her name all of a sudden. I am so sorry if you watch this because I love your yarn. Oh, I love your yarn. I have some steam pumpkin that I've been wanting to cast on for like a year now and I haven't done it yet. Anyway. Which is also discontinuing that colorway, I think. Ugh, that's sad. But anyway, she is doing a knit along for the Fish Lips Kiss Heel. And anybody who's doing the Fish Lips Kiss Heel can enter into her knit along for that, because she noticed that a lot of people struggle with that. And I'm one of those. I struggled with it for a long time. I think I finally got it. However, I did struggle with it. So you can enter into that one. Or there's the Big Bad Berg along, or there's with Legacy Knits, there's the Hocus Pocus. There's a lot. There's a sweater knit along with quite a few people. I believe the Knitmore girls are doing one. They usually do one every winter. And there's another podcast, Audible podcast, that's doing it too. And they're actually out of Portland too, and I forgot their names. I'm such a bad podcaster. Oh well. I will figure it out. Anywho, also, so that's the Double Dip Cal. So that's for the month of October, and then I will open up the month of December. And, oh yes, this is so exciting. So I have 2 prizes for the month of November, one of which is my own hand-dyed yarn. This is very Christmassy. Oh boy, that is not showing up well. This is a very Christmassy red, blood red skein. Also very, like, you could maybe say it's also very Valentine's-y. But this is a DK weight. And I also have it in my Tundra Strongs base as well. So you can choose, whoever wins can choose between the DK base and the Tundra Strong. Now, it's been so long since I dyed these that I actually can't remember how much is in my DK weight. I think it's like 275 or 310. I'll look up my calculations and let you know. But in my Tundra Strong, there's 443 yards. Now, this is not the softest stuff to knit with, but the reason I called it Tundra Strong is because it is very, very strong. I knit socks out of these years ago, and they're still going strong. I've knit lots of socks out of these, and they soften up as you go. This is the same base that Highland Handmaids, no wait, is that her name? Highland Handmaids, Highland Knits, that she uses as well for her fingering weight. So there's that. But then also I have coming in the mail, I just purchased it Saturday. I got a set of mini skein set from, sorry about that. But I got a mini skein set coming from Gnome Anchors of all of her Christmas colorways, and oh, I'm so excited about that. So I got one for me, and I got one for you guys too. So there's going to be 2 prizes for November, and I think they're pretty good. So there's that. Then we also have the giveaway going on for, I hope I'm doing this right. All of a sudden my brain is telling me that I'm doing the prizes wrong. Did we have multiple prizes for the double deck Cal and I was just wrong? Or did we have multiple prizes for the 100 subscriber giveaway? Oh my gosh, people. And I don't have time to look it up right now. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'll try and edit it somehow. I'm not frustrated. I'm not stressed. No. But that being said, I have to hurry because I have to leave in like 5 minutes. So for the 100 YouTube subscriber giveaway, once we reach 100, I'm going to open a thread in our Ravelry group, AnderSMIll Knits podcast, as well as a special post in my blog that people can comment to in both places to enter to win this giveaway here, which is one giveaway. So we have another needle minder from Stephanie at the Rusted Stitch. And along with that, which I think they coordinate so well, is a mystery skein of hand spun, mystery length in yardage and everything, but I do believe, I know this is fingering to sport weight, and I do believe we have at least 300 yards here. So there's that, and it's so beautiful and marled. I hope you guys can see it. Things are getting kind of washed out because of the light behind me. I didn't think this through. I don't have very many lights going on in the house right now because we don't have a light system going on in the house, but, and then, aren't I giving this away in something? I swear I'm giving this away. Was this in the November? Guys, I'm so sorry. I hope I'm giving this away because I was supposed to be giving this away. So yeah. It's Spud and Chloe sweater weight. It's worsted. It's 55% superwash wool and 45% organic cotton. 100 grams. And it's 160 yards. And I used the other skein that I had of this, which was a good deep brown, to knit a hat for my brother-in-law. Like butter. I love this stuff. And I don't like knitting with cotton, but apparently I do love knitting with cotton blends. So there you go. But I thought you guys would enjoy that. So really quick, I'm going to do my weeks in review, and then I will... Okay guys, so my week in review, or my review notes as it were. So the last couple weeks have been very productive. Maybe not so much in my knitting, but very productive in my life. I have been traveling about 3 days out of the week to various cities throughout Oregon, seeing all my new clients and visiting with the case managers with them and spreading the word that I'm on the job and ready to work. And the response has been really good. I've been getting lots of clients. I think I'm currently at 20 or so clients. And so I gotta see all of them and write up all of that. So my thing is I go out one day and the next day I do all my documentation, which takes me the entire day, a good 8 hours or so, and then I go out again the next day. So last week I was in Tillamook, St. Helens, Scappoose, Hillsborough, and Tigard, which, you know, Hillsborough and Tigard are kind of part of Portland, but, you know. And this week I am in, I just came from St. Helens. I'm on my way to Hillsborough, and then I'm going to go to Tigard, and then I got to rush home and do a few things there, and that's why I'm in between at the moment. And you see the lovely fallish leaves outside my window. In the midst of all of that, we've been packing like crazy starting this weekend. I have been working on the wedding an awful lot. I actually made my fiance sit down with me and we created a schedule because we get into Alaska 3 days before the wedding and a lot of stuff has to happen in those 3 days. And so I made a step-by-step schedule for everything, including the day of the wedding. And it's not so much that it's for everybody, but I want my family, my friends to understand that I have to accomplish these certain things on these days. And so it's not me ignoring you. It's not me saying, oh, hey, come to my wedding, but I don't want to see you before then. It's that I have a lot to do. So, and yeah, so I think it's gonna that relieved my mind a lot, and I got really great responses from my family about that, and my best friend, who's my maid of honor, she sent me a few corrections about things I needed to do. So I'm getting that done, and then I don't know why I do this to myself, but it's so much fun. I guess in a way it's self-care, but this type of self-care is kind of giving me a lot of anxiety at the moment and a lot of extra stress. There are some girls who are volunteering in my church, and they come from all over the world. And they saw me knitting in church one day, and they asked me if I would be willing to teach them to knit. So I've been doing that as well. One of them actually went home back to New Zealand yesterday. And so it was a rush trying to teach her, but also assuring her that she's going to be able. Do you have you have a toy in here. Watson snuck a toy into the bag. Go get it. Letting her know that YouTube is her friend when it comes to learning to knit. There's some podcasts out of New Zealand. It's getting into summer down there, so it's not exactly knitting weather. And one of our Ravelry group members is from New Zealand. Now, I don't know where my friend is from, and I'm not really sure where my friend on Ravelry is from, our podcast friend. Hi. But maybe I can connect you guys up, because she's going to join Ravelry as soon as she gets home. So, you guys like Watson playing? Oh. Doesn't he look like a Muppet? I swear, he looks just like the Muppets. I'm not gonna break a window. No. I love playing with my dog. Anywho, so that's one of the many reasons why I feel like I haven't gotten a lot of knitting done, and I will show you all of that soon. So, you know, there's been some going on. So, but last week, oh my gosh, this is the best part. Last week, my fiance treated me. He knows one of my favorite movies is The Princess Bride, and one of the local theaters actually did showed it in the movie theater last week. And so he took me out for dinner, our dinner date that week, and we went and saw The Princess Bride, and I was knitting in the dark. So this is a little overlap, but look at this skein. Oh wait, you can't see it. Look at all this. Ay, ay, ay. When the movie started, I dropped a stitch. When the movie started, I had just finished the ribbing, and then I did all of that in the movie, and I dropped a stitch. So I'll try and knit this while we are talking so that I can get there and fix it. But this is knit out of Opal in the Paradise collection, and can't tell you the colorway name. It's a number. And I didn't bring the ball band with me. It fell off long ago from here. But anyway, it was so much fun seeing being there in the audience with all these people that love this movie. This isn't the first time they saw it. It's like the thousandth time they saw it. So everybody was laughing at all the right places. And people were quoting the movie right and left. And it was just awesome. I tried really hard not to be annoying and quote the movie from all of my best parts. But, you know, like when they're doing the rhyme, Fezzik, are there rocks ahead? If there are, we'll all be dead. I can't not do that, so I was mumbling it into my knitting. If there are, we'll all be dead. But of course everybody was laughing anyway, so they wouldn't have heard. And you know, people clapped during all the sword scenes with Inigo and Wesley, and then obviously later on, and they clapped during the fire pit part, and it was awesome. They clapped when Inigo got his revenge from, I always forget that bad guy's name, the six-fingered man. You don't happen to have 6 fingers on your right hand, do you? No. But it was a really awesome time. And I've just fixed it. There, it's like it never happened. See? Well, there's still a little bubble there, but it'll go away with blocking. So there you go. Thanks, guys, for letting me fix my knitting. Okay, so why don't we just go into what's on my needles at the moment? So 1 second. Okay, in session. So obviously we saw one pair of socks that I'm knitting on, and that's my by the bed socks. And it's not in a bag right now because that girl that went back to New Zealand, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. I got the hiccup burps apparently. The girl that went back to New Zealand needed a bag for all of the extra yarn that I gave her from my stash. I let her choose, I think she chose 3 or 4 skeins from my stash, plus the yarn that she chose to make her first pair of socks, because she really wanted to knit socks. She saw me making socks, and that's what she wanted to knit. And so she picked out 3 skeins of yarn, but she didn't have anything to carry it with, so I just pulled that out of my yarn, my project bag, and gave it to her, because it was a really cool project bag, but I can always get another one. So another pair of socks living in another bag that I made is my wedding socks. And here we have one finished sock, and then here we have the second sock. And I don't know how close I am to needing to do the heel, so I mean the toe, so let's see. Oh, I'm not even close. I've been carrying around this sock this week and hoping that I was closer. I'm only about halfway down the foot. Darn. See, because my goal was to have this done by the next time I podcasted, but so much came up. I wasn't expecting to be traveling as much as I have been. I definitely wasn't expecting to be teaching people to knit a couple times a week. And then my sweater, which I'll show you right now. Oh wait, no, I can't show you yet because I have to finish talking about this. Okay, so anyway, the sweater is taking a lot more time than I had thought it would. So anyway, so this is knit on Hue Loco yarn and the Pretty Young Thing colorway. The contrasting heel is in my yarn from AnderMill Knits, which is now defunct. You can't buy my yarn anywhere unless it's a D-stash. However, I do have plans to dye you guys up some yarn for some of the giveaways, just so you know. And the stitch pattern is the waffle stitch. Let's see if that will. I think that's okay. Maybe that was pretty good. Anyway, I love it. I love the column down the middle and the different knit purl stitches in the on the other sides. I very much plan on doing this actually in worsted weight. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and the original pattern was designed for worsted weight socks, and I do plan on doing that because I love it. So let's put the project back together. My needles are trying to kill me. I won't let them. So my next project is my Cecilia sweater, which is my wedding sweater. And let's just show you a picture of a close-up. So that's it there. There's the backs. These are all pictures she has actually on her pattern page anyway, so it's all good. So it's very intricate lace, but it's not. It's very repetitive because it's all the same thing. It's a very short repeat. But the pattern, she couldn't write the pattern. She tried really, really hard. I mean, look how many pages I've got going on here. I mean, and granted, they're not double-sided, but I don't even know how many pages I have here of pattern notes just for this little sweater. But she really tried, but she just couldn't. There wasn't a way to write the pattern in such a way that you could just follow it blindly. You do have to know how to knit lace, how your different increases and decreases will affect the way your garment will hang on you. And you all, like left leaning versus right leaning. But I think you guys are opposite of me, so I guess this would probably be right leaning for you guys and this would be left leaning. I don't know. Aren't you mirror? Aren't you mirrored to me? As you're watching me. Oh, I can't stand it. I have to take this off. Okay. There you go. So you really have to know what you're doing. And you have to engineer a lot of things. And that's perfectly fine. It's been a blast knitting this thing. I would knit this thing over in a heartbeat. I think I am actually going to take the construction of this sweater and knit it over, only I think I'm just going to do it in stocking net on maybe sport weight yarn or something, because I don't know how many things I would actually have that I could wear with this, because of the lace and how form-fitting it is. But here's the sleeves, which obviously I've just put on scrap yarn. And then I have switched to the smaller needles, which is a 1.25, and I've knit 2 rows of the bottom border, which is knit 1, purl 1, ribbed, or a certain amount of rows. I did elongate my sweater, and that also took some engineering on my part because I didn't want to make it larger this way, and so I had to fudge and put in extra rows without making my increases on this side. I wanted to stay pretty steady, steady. But at the same time, I needed to add a couple rows because I noticed in the pictures a lot of time that the sweater was ending, the lace was ending kind of just below mid boob, and then the rib would start. And I have a larger chest area anyway, so I thought it would just be best to preemptively add in some length now so that I won't have to even worry about that. So that's what I've done. So that took a little bit longer too, figuring all that out. I'm not a person that feels comfortable with altering sweater patterns. Altering or honestly altering shawl patterns very much. Altering socks, no problem. Altering hats, piece of cake. But sweaters and shawls, that gives me anxiety. So I even had my guy check the math, and he didn't even understand what I was talking about. But you know, it still worked out. So, and I feel like putting my needles back in here. Oh, so I wanted to show you how I do this. So these are for double points. Are the needle minders, but I have my sweater on here, and I really don't want to lose any stitches. So instead what I do is I place the needles back in there, and then I push the cord in a little bit. I snap that one. That way that one's stuck by the cord, and this one too. And see, it doesn't come out. So perfect, right? I love this. So there's that. That's the Cecilia sweater, knit on Sweet Georgia sock, Sweet Georgia Tough Love sock in the passion fruit colorway, and I have 3 skeins of that. This is where I am on the second skein. That's where I am on the second skein, and I saved this much of the first skein to help me transition on the sleeves, and then I've got a full 3rd skein left, so I'm doing peachy keen. I don't have any worries whatsoever. I do have worries because I can't seem to find the buttons that I bought for this. I think I showed you guys the buttons, and I don't know where I put them when I was packing things up. Sweet! So then the last project I have to show you that I've actually worked on at all is the bow tie for Watson. And all I've done is created the fishtail. Again, I've gotten to the point where I'm going to knit straight for a little while, and then here, the first half. So I'm going to knit straight for just, let's see if I can line this up. There. So I'll knit straight for a couple rows. Right here's my needle. Knit straight for here, and then I'll start increasing again, make this big fish body, and then start decreasing again for the neck, and there you go. I really had high hopes of having this done. By the time I podcasted, I had high hopes for a lot of things to be done by the time I podcasted, but it just didn't work. So the pattern is by Knit Picks. And, sorry guys, I need to open my window. It's really hot in here. Okay, there we go. The pattern is by Knit Picks. It's just called Bow Tie. And I've shown you this picture a million times, but here we go again. That's the bow tie on this handsome fella. I love his dimples. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I assume still on the Knit Picks website. I'm knitting this from Jill Draper Makes in the Esopus. Anybody know how to say this? Watson, don't you dare start barking. The Esopus base in Sapphire colorway. I'm knitting it on size 1s. Knit Pros. So that's the stats on that baby. And I have not touched the tie at all. I just didn't have any brain power for it, so I just didn't even touch it. So I think I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to take a few pictures of the scenery that I've been looking at this whole time that I've been podcasting, so you guys can see it too. And then I will see you guys on a later segment, because I got to get going to my appointment. See you soon. Okay guys, I was going to upload the video. It's been so long since I let you guys know about all my projects and everything that I thought I should let you know, give you a further update, at least on my Cecilia sweater, because there are no needles in this bad boy. The last you saw it, I was right there. I had just started the ribbing, and I did, okay, here's another thing I'm not understanding about the pattern. She's saying to do knit 1, purl 1, And then she says to repeat these 2 rows, or that row, 40 something times for my size. Okay guys, so this, according to my calculations, according to my row count, this is 22 rows. This is about 2 inches. So she's saying that I need 4 inches of ribbing? Does she realize that that will go over, I mean, am I reading a pattern wrong or something? Because that will go all over my belly and not be a crop top like I wanted. So anyway, so I reinterpreted it and I did 22 inches and I did the bind off that she suggested, which is the tubular bind off, which I had never done before. And I want you to know that it is quite time consuming. I think I have about, oh look, you can see my owie. Ugh. See, it hurts too. And it hurts to put my rings on right now. Anyway, I'm such a baby. So it's lovely, and the bind off is lovely and stretchy. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. And but this bind off on okay, so here's one side. And we keep going, keep going. I am not fat. I keep telling myself as I show you this. And yet I do feel fat because it's never ending. But I mean, it goes around your entire body, right? So it goes around like that. This is, anyway, so that took me about 3 hours to do. I did it every night when we went to bed here at the new house, and it's been 3 nights. And last night I stayed up till 1 a.m. Well, okay, to be truthful, I was up until about 12:30. We were putting together our office because I have to work today, obviously. Well, I worked every day, but you know, I have a lot of paperwork to do, and I needed a space that I could do my paperwork in. So the office was top priority last night, and so was the kitchen. You can probably hear the washing machine and the dishwasher going right now because they are going 24 hours a day. Because I don't know about you guys, but even though I purposely packed all of my things clean, still bringing them out of the boxes and stuff, I'm being ridiculous, but I feel like everything's dirty. So I'm washing all of my dishes all over again, and I'm washing all of the clothes all over again. I'm a glutton for punishment. That's what I am. So you can probably hear that in the background. But anyway, here's my Cecilia sweater, and I just want to point out though that even though I went down a pattern size in the pattern, I still think this is going to be a little big on me. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. I just won't block it vigorously. I'll just lightly block it. I'll just get it wet and just lay it out. I won't try to like stretch it all into shape and all that because I don't really need to. So anyway, so the next thing I'm going to do, I was contemplating doing the neckband next because that would be relatively short and fast, but I want to find my buttons that I bought before I do that. So I'm going to pick up for the sleeves, and because time is of the essence, I'm only going to knit like another inch of the lace, and then I'm going to do the ribbing. Goodness in my arm. I'm going to do the ribbing, and it's going to end at my elbow, which it does in the pattern, but when I read the pattern according to her, she wants to pick up, I'm not giving anything away here, she wants you to pick up all of these stitches, and then she wants you to do 76 rows of the lace repeat. That's like, Watson, that's like 4 inches of lace right there. And then do the ribbing, which is an astronomical number of rows for the ribbing too. So I'm not following the pattern there. I'm just gonna do it my own. But anyway, 5 minutes on the Cecilia sweater. Okay guys, I think we're good. And now back to our regular scheduled program.